Hey Flosstube, it's Kristen from the Steel City Stitchers coming to you with our 8th episode, and it's going to be a little different format tonight. As you can see, I'm in my home office, so we're not all going to be filming together, but everybody submitted videos to me, so you're going to see all 4 girls tonight, and this is going to be our video for the second half of June, so welcome. Couple of things I wanted to go over tonight. I almost have a finish. I had one finish that I actually just sent off to a very special lady. I'm going to pull up her info as well as a picture of what I sent her to finish. And then I'm going to talk about plans coming up, a really fun stitch day that we're having, and a new item that I got. So favorite new things. Please mind my hair. I have been battling a migraine all day today, so it happens, right? All right, so let me pull this up here. So the project that I'm talking about, and if you follow me on Instagram at KLPlotner, you probably saw my finish of Quoth the Raven, which is a Barbara Anna design that I finished and sent off to have turned into a little pillow. And the woman that I sent it to, her name is Terry Catlin, and she is from Florida, and her shop is called the Old Needle Shop, and you can find her on Etsy and on Instagram. She was referred to me by Michelle Bendy of Bendy Stitchy, and I sent it off to her. I think it was last Friday. She already sent me a message that it's finished and she's sending it back. So I'm actually having it turned into a pillow. But let me give you an idea of what I'm having done with that, so you can see that. Picks it up pretty nice. So this was really tiny. This was done on a 40 count. It was done 1/2. So really bright colors, love the design. I did not do the outside border. The pattern itself gives you 2 different options for whether you want to do a border or not. I started doing the border and I just didn't like how it looked, so I didn't add it. I think it looks fine without it. It's going to make the overall piece a little bit smaller, but in general, it's just a tiny little square, and I love it, and I can't wait to put it on my bookshelf. So the other project that I've been working on for the month of June, so after Stitch Mania ended, I started 2 new Barbara Anna designs, Quoth the Raven, and also this one, which is Long May She Wave. This pattern is from 2013, so it's an older pattern. You may not have seen it, or if you did, you forgot about it, but I found this one for my mom, who requested a patriotic stitch, and doing this one on 32 count Vintage Country Mocha. And here it is. So everything is done except for just these little tiny bells underneath the stars here at the bottom, and the outlining that goes around those stars. But I absolutely love it. I love this fabric. And I'm so happy that I bought a larger piece, because I have a piece similar size that I can use for something else. This little 1777 block is done 2/1 tent is how I did that one. And I love it. Love the stitching, love the colors. This was such a fun pattern to stitch. The blue up here at the top is 932, and I used an entire skein on that one. And I even think that for 2/2 on 32 count with the DMC 310, the black, I think it still showed up pretty nice. You don't see a ton of fabric poking through. So overall, extremely pleased with this pattern. I love how it looks. I'm excited to go to Hobby Lobby and to go to Michael's now that a lot of patriotic stuff is going to be on sale, and see how I'm going to finish it. So, Mom, that one's coming to you. All right. Next thing, and I'm also going to, after my clip, I'm going to be inserting a video of the Haid Heaven and Earth design pattern that I just received in the mail, where I talk a little bit about it, It's about 7 minutes long, but I show you the pattern and talk about some strategy, and I'm looking for advice. So if you've done a HAID or you know of anyone who's done a HAID, if they've recorded videos, like tag me in it, send me some helpful hints and tricks that you've maybe used in the past or that you are currently using on a HAID, and I greatly appreciate it. So that'll be coming up next. But best new thing that I've received recently is from Kelly Stadola, who obviously is, and I hope I'm pronouncing her last name right, but she is the second part of the Joan and Kelly show. And she creates, and I'm sure a lot of you already know this, but she creates what's called a Bitzy Bob. And a Bitzy Bob is trademarked by her, and her company is called ThatsSoKellyCo. You can find her on Etsy, and you can follow her on Kelly Stadola on Instagram, and I'll link her shop below as well. But what a Bitzy Bob looks like, and this is the pattern that I picked because I love it. It's patriotic farm animals, and this is the back. Okay, and you'll see there's 2 little snaps on the front, and it's a pretty decent size. But here is what it looks like. Now, I received the Bitzy Bob with an additional piece of felt, which I'll show you in a minute, but I just want to kind of lift this up a little bit and show you the inside. So over here, you have a zip pocket that you can put tools. She gives you a floss card that's plastic, so it's reusable. It has her name on it. It has the chart, the size, and then I just wrote the DMC colors here at the top. I did write them in Sharpie, but you just use fingernail polish remover. It'll take it right off. So have all of those going. But the beautiful thing about a Bitzy Bob is that it holds, the felt will hold your extra threads. So I just roll it up, stick it on here. This is felt, so it grips it. Now, obviously, you just saw one fall off. It's not going to, you're not going to tip it upside down, and it's not going to hold it on. But it is pretty secure, especially when you're stitching on a couch or on a chair. It's just helpful because that's just a piece of thread. It keeps all of your threads and your loose threads so that you don't have to roll them up and wind them back on a bobbin or throw them in the bag. So great for smaller projects that don't have a lot of colors. It saved so much time when I was stitching this Barbara Anna design. It also has a magnet here for your scissors or needles. And then these are my skull counting pins that I did use quite a bit with this pattern because there was, especially at the top with that big band of blue, I was just concerned that I wasn't going to count it correctly. So I used my little skull counting pins that I got on Etsy. Aren't they cute? I got some of those for Jody too whenever I ordered them. And then also with this Bitzy Bob, I bought I think there's 2 different sizes. One that has an additional piece of felt. Snaps on, and then you can spin it, and it covers it up. I don't know if it was really worth it, to be honest, to have the second piece of felt. I probably wouldn't, if I were to purchase a Bitzy Bob again, which I definitely recommend, and I will be buying more. When I purchase another Bitzy Bob, I will not be doing the supplemental piece of felt. For me, I just didn't have that much that I needed to hold. And you really, I mean, with this size, you could use however many pieces of floss that you want with the Bitzy Bob. That's not the point, as being able to store it all. It's just how do you deal with your loose threads. So for some people, that extra piece may be necessary. But love this product. Again, I'll link her below. You've probably already seen these things. I know that her stuff is in super high demand, and but I think she does still have a couple different designs left on her Etsy page. So please go check her out. Again, Kelly Stadola, ThatsSoKellyCo, and these are Bitzy Bob. So thanks again to, she's like my BFF now, Michelle Garrett, or Michelle Bendy Stitchy. You probably already watch her channel. She talks a lot and loves Bitzy Bobs. She is a huge enabler for me, and this was one of them. So thanks, Michelle. All right. Final thing to talk about before I insert the video and go to the girls is wanted to remind everybody about our Stitch Day that's coming up on Sunday, June 30th. And it is going to be from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Galleria Mall in Mount Lebanon, which is south of Pittsburgh on Route 19. It's Washington Road. The Galleria is, of course, the mall with Anthropologie and Williams-Sonoma and Restoration Hardware, and they have the Panera there that we are renting the room. So if you are interested in attending, you do not have to RSVP. That is where we are going to be on Sunday, June 30th. If you want to let me know that you're coming, feel free. You can email us at steelcitystitchers@gmail.com. And then that way, too, you'll be added to our email mailing list so that anytime we have a Stitch Day or we know of anything cool going on, we have everyone's emails compiled and I just send out a blast. So if you're interested and you live in the Pittsburgh area, please join us on Sunday. It's going to be super fun. We just get to sit and stitch and drink coffee and have snacks and have lunch, and it's Panera, so it's decent and it'll be a lot of fun. So I am going to now insert that video of a Haid, my Haid pattern that I just received, and then I'm going to insert the girls' photos or videos. So you're going to see from Jody, Erin, and Erica, and we hope that you liked our video. And thanks for coming back to watch us. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe and share us on all of the social media platforms. I'll also link all of our individual Instagram handles down in the description box below. Please be sure to follow us for more up-to-date stuff. So we will go on with the next girls, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Hey, Flosstube, it's Erica of the Steel City Stitchers, coming to you with a very brief update because I didn't really do a lot since our last video, but I've done some exciting things. So, first things first, I want to show you that I finished stitching Hello Spring. Yay! Finally! It's done. Definitely not going to be finished off for putting out on the shelf before summer, which is just in a couple of days, right? So that's not going to happen. But next year, 2020, it sure will. I also worked on the Saturday market. I made a lot of progress on this in a very short period of time, and all I have left is the border and the back stitching. It's looking really cute. What do you think? One of my cats is here. Perhaps you'd like to see him. I'm sitting on my stairs in case you're wondering. That's Kittenens. He's an old man cat. Both of our cats are old men. Anyway, final thing I need to show you is that I decided to pick Pumpkinville up. I haven't worked on it in a while. If you recall, last time I updated, I had only had part of the middle part. This is Welcome to Pumpkinville done. I have all the lettering done there, not all of the border, but I decided that it was time to move on and go up to the top and start looking at the actual cute stuff. So I bumped up to the April block, which is a diner. Not too many stitches happening there, but you can kind of see a little person's face taking shape there, and that purple and teal, which is not coming across very well as far as I can see here, block thing is part of the jukebox, which I'm super excited about. It's very cute. It's like a 50s style diner. I'm looking forward to having it stitched. And hopefully, the Wizard View event that I've been working on in my community is this Saturday. So after that, things will calm down a little bit for me, and maybe I can stitch a little bit more often. That would be delightful. Anyway, that's really all I have going on. Just trying to stitch when I can and make progress on stuff. Hope you guys are having a great week. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Wanted to hop on real quick and just give you guys a quick update on what I've been up to and what I haven't been up to. So last video, as you guys remember, I lost my stitchy bug, which I was super bummed about. Good news is I think I have it back. So I don't have a ton of time in my life, but the time that I do have to stitch, I have not been using it to stitch. So not very happy about it, but needless to say, I sat down last night, I put some stitches in my project, and I'm feeling a whole lot better about everything, really. So, as you guys know, I am working on Electra, which is my Nora Corbett, and last night I was able to, don't judge, this isn't going to look like a lot to you guys, but this is a big deal to me because, again, I haven't stitched in literally weeks on end. Last time I stitched was during our video, our Flosstube video, so that's kind of a good indication. And before that, I don't even remember the last time I stitched before that. So this is a big deal to me. This is what I have done so far, which I am pretty happy with. I started this during our last video. I think I only had this top part done right there. So last night I was able to get a good part of the filling of the bottom of her dress in, which makes me very happy. So full confession, I don't love my fabric. I love the color of my fabric, but I don't love my fabric. I haven't been stitching on linen for very long, but everything that I've done on linen so far has been even weave. This is not even weave. So I have been navigating this fabric and trying to figure out where to put my needle and trying to figure out just sort of what holes I'm supposed to be using, and it has not been easy for me, but it has been a very fun challenge. So I'm not complaining. I do love the color of it, so I'm going to power through. And I think that when I'm done, this is going to be probably one of my favorite projects because it's beautiful. And I cannot wait to make some more progress on it. One of the things that I'm doing on this project that I have not done in a really long time is the loop method when I start new thread. The reason I haven't been doing it is because I usually stitch on 14 Aida or 28 linen, and when I stitch, I like the density of my stitches. I don't like to see the fabric through my stitches. So when I stitch on that, I usually use 3 threads, which doesn't allow for the loop method. So when I started this, this is on 36 count, I believe, and I am able to use 2 threads and still get that same density just because it's a little bit smaller. So I decided to do the loop method, and I had to rethread my needle about 85 times before I remembered how to do it because it's been so long. Nothing a YouTube video can't fix, but I finally figured it out, and I've been running with it, which has been really fun. So here's my front, and here is my back, which I'm pretty proud of. I don't have any tails hanging out or anything like that. I've always admired people whose projects look just as clean on the back as they do on the front, and so that's really what I'm kind of going for here. So I'm pretty excited about this so far. And looking at the pattern, it looks like after I'm done with this black, which isn't that much more, I will start on the orange, which looks like it has some beading in it. So I get to reward myself after doing all this black with some beads. So I'm super excited about that. And guys, that's kind of all I have going on right now. I, again, lost my bug, but it is back and I am excited and very much looking forward to our stitch day coming up. Kristen mentioned it in our last Flosstube. She's going to send out some information on it as well. If you're in the area, I hope you guys can join us. That will force me to sit down with 0 distractions and just stitch for hours and hours and hours, which I cannot wait for. So that's all I have as far as an update. Very glad to say that my stitchy bug is back and I have a little bit of progress. Hoping to have some more before stitch day and then hoping to have a lot after stitch day. My goal for this one really is to be done or finishing by October. It is a very fall Halloween-y pattern and I would really like to have this done, framed, finished by Halloween. So that's my goal. Doesn't sound very lofty for a lot of you, but for me, that's a big goal and I am determined to crush it. So that's all I have for you guys today. Hope you have a wonderful weekend and we will see you soon. Bye.
Hi Flosstube. Welcome to my mini update. I've been working a lot lately on gifts for other people. I don't know why, that's the thing that I find the most interesting in cross stitching is I like to have a purpose for doing it. So I want to do a project and then give it to somebody. Also, sorry if you hear my cats. They're a little crazy right now because my daughter's not here and they need somebody's attention. So I'm sorry if they interrupt us. Okay, so I finished the wedding project for my July wedding, which I thought would take me a lot longer. I'm very excited about how quick this went. I really enjoyed this pattern. I would highly recommend it. They had all of the states. So if you're in the US and you want to do any of the different states, she had them all. And I linked this in our last video. So if you go to the comments, you'll see the Etsy page for this. But this is how it came out, and I'm very proud of it. And I did a little collaboration with my friend Brooke that made that Banff, and then with the girls, of course, to come up with what I would write at the bottom. I don't know how well you can see that with the glare, but it says established and then the day of their wedding. So instead of putting their name in it, I went a little bit more simplistic because I really didn't want to detract from the Michigan and just how pretty the Lower Peninsula looked. They live in the Upper Peninsula, but I'm a Lower Peninsula girl. I'm a troll. That's what they call us. We live under the bridge. I'm excited to see the Yoopers and how they party at this wedding. So I hope that they like it. I'm really proud of it. And I actually think I want to stitch it again for somebody. I don't know. I'll probably stitch it for another wedding because I really enjoyed stitching that. So the next gift that I've been stitching is I have some really great mom friends. I'm so lucky. In the town that I live in, we have this mom's club, and I've made some amazing friendships through that, and they're throwing me a sprinkle for a baby that's coming. And for a thank you gift, I wanted to make them just a little something. So I came up with this pattern. I couldn't sleep like 2 nights ago, and I was like, oh, that would be a really good pattern. So I got up the next day and I went on Stitch Fiddle, and I made it myself. I just kind of geeked it out, and that's what I came up with. So it's their wedding color is the light blue, and in all of the lettering you'll see the light blue, and that's the year that they were married, and that's about where Pittsburgh / where we live is. So I'm really proud of it, and I was able to do it all in a day. I made the pattern and I was able to stitch it out in a day. It might be my new go-to thank you present, because I really do like it, and I like the way it turned out. And I think I could put it into a either a little frame that can go on like a table, or I was thinking an ornament. I haven't decided. I have to go to Michael's and really investigate and figure out which one I want to do. This is my next one. There's 3 ladies throwing me the sprinkles, so I have 3 to do, but it's not until August, so I've got time. That one I'm not worried about. I should have that done by this weekend, to be completely honest. So I'm really excited about that. The next thing I want to show is I went to Target with my daughter and went to the dollar bin, and I found this lovely container, and I love it, and it fits my pattern so perfectly. And I have the summer caterpillar stitch, the Seize the Day inside of it, and I just thought that it worked really well, and I wanted to show you guys that. It was only $3. I know those dollar bins say $1, but it was $3. I love it. If they had more, I would have bought them. This was the only one they had, and I really am happy with it because it's a lot cheaper than what I spent on these bad boys. Also, I don't know if I showed this in the last video. I don't think I did, but I have joined the bag train. I just thought I'd show that. And if you have not joined this bandwagon, I highly recommend it. It is so much easier when you're actually stitching to just throw it in the bag than to have everything on the hoop and have to re-twirl it and put it all back together. This is awesome. I highly recommend it. Let's see what else. My next project is going to be, the Hello Pumpkin. You can see I've gotten it ready. I've moved it. I don't even think I've put the thread in the needle yet. Nope, I have not. I don't know if you've seen the pattern yet. I don't have it pulled up, but it has the cutest little owl on it, and I cannot wait to stitch it. That's gonna be my goal after I finish my little gift presents things. Gift presents. That's going to be my next project, is that I finish this month. It's not very much, and it shouldn't take me but a couple of days, but I'm looking forward to doing that. And then when I finish that, I have absolutely decided that my Satsuma kitty cat is my next big project. So this will be what I work on in between Hello Pumpkin's coming out. Seize the days on the back burner until I can get remotivated with it. I've lost my motivation with it. There's too many like little things and I'm so behind. I'll get there. It's just, maybe that'll be my next Stitch Mania. Like, I never thought I'd finish this. It's not that it's not fun to stitch, it's just, I just have to get remotivated. That's about all I have going on in my Stitch world, so thanks for listening. We'll see you later. Have a good one.
Hey guys, alright, this is Kristen, and this is a special segment within our larger video about the Haid that I just bought and what the hell I'm doing, because this is insanity. So, for those of you who don't follow me on Instagram or haven't heard this before, I recently purchased Stolen Harvest, which is from Heaven and Earth Designs. It's artwork by Annie Stegg, and this is what it looks like. Okay. So received it today. I've been vacillating back and forth between what I'm going to do for fabric. That has been really the biggest holdup with starting this project. Is number one, of course, pulling the trigger on actually buying it and realizing that I'm going to be committing to it for an incredibly long time. Second is trying to decide what type of fabric I'm going to use. So in speaking with quite a few people, it all comes down to preference. So if you're typically an even weave user, stick with even weave, and you can do a Haid on even weave. You can do a 25 count, 28 count. You can do whatever you want. You can also do it on Aida. So I definitely narrowed it down to using an even weave. Then the question became, do I want to do full crosses or do I want to do tent stitching, half stitching? And then it becomes the difference between fabric. So if I do a 25 count, I think 2/1 is going to be too bulky. 1/1 may not be enough coverage. And so 25 count tent stitch, though, may not be enough coverage either. There may still be too much fabric showing through the back. So I think I've narrowed it down to doing a 28 count even weave and doing 2/1 tent. Now I have some 28 count Monaco that I have some white Monaco that I'm going to try it out on just to see what the coverage looks like. Then it comes down to a question of, do I want to use a gridded fabric or do I want to just use a regular piece of 28 count? It's a pretty sizable piece. The size for this project is going to have to be 36 by 55, so a full yard of fabric. Getting the easy grid is not super expensive. For the 28 count, I believe it was $44 on 1-2-3 stitch. Of course, you can get a cheaper piece of, a cheaper yard of fabric if you go 28 count without being gridded. Then I, have to think, is the 28 count grid, is that going to be helpful if I'm doing it over one? I think it will, but I don't know. So I still have to decide on that, but I think I've narrowed it down to 28 count, 2/1 tent. I've also been watching a lot of videos on Flosstube about people who have started Haids, and they really prefer using Anchor Black 403 versus DMC 310. The coverage evidently is a lot better because the the strands are a little bit thicker. So I think that'll provide me a better coverage on the piece doing the tent stitching versus doing a full cross. And I was also thinking, if I don't do a gridded fabric, I would use a gray fabric so that the black isn't as stark if there's any white poking through. I really don't think there's going to be a lot of fabric visible regardless. Doing 2/1 tent on 28 count, it's a pretty small block. I was doing some 2/1 on 2/1 tent on a 32 count. Of course, that's pretty. It's a little bit smaller. So I think even with that, there wasn't any fabric poking through. So I think 2/110 on 28 is going to be the way to go. But again, I'm gonna do some practice stitching and see how it looks. So next step with the Haid, obviously, is getting the fabric and then purchasing the Anchor Black. So I'm going to purchase that on Amazon. You can get a 12 skein pack on Amazon for about $10, and I'll probably need to doing 10 stitching, probably 2 of those packs, so 24 skeins total. The nice thing about the Heaven and Earth designs is it gives you the approximate skeins that you need of each color, but that's also assuming you're doing 25 count 2/1 full cross. So I'll be using less thread doing the 10 stitching regardless. So, but anyway, I can use the Anchor Black even if I have more. I can always use that for other projects. So that's going to be step number 2. Step number 1 is ordering the fabrics from 1, 2, 3 stitch. Step number 2 will be ordering the Anchor Black. I flipped through the design and the first full page, and I'll just show you this because it's not, there's no, I mean, if you want to stitch an entire page of black and you want to steal that, be my guest. But anyway, there she is again. I love her face. She's so pissed. She's like, stealing my fruit. So anyway, it gives you the list. Everything it's really nice paper. I'm going to be making a working copy of everything anyway. But it gives you the color chart. And then, like I said, it also gives you the approximate number of skeins that you need for each color. So you can see 310 up there has 34 skeins estimated. But again, that's assuming 25 count 2/1 full cross. So for me to get started, this is page 1. Okay, so this full page will probably take me a month, so I don't really need to go and gather a lot of the other thread, which in some ways is nice because I don't feel super overwhelmed with spending a ton of money up front with buying all of the thread in order to get this started. So I'm going to buy the anchor, I'm going to buy the thread, the fabric, and I am just going to get going. I'm going to buy a new pack of 28 count needles, Pat Carson's, just so I have some needles handy. I feel like with this project too, I'll be running multiple needles at the same time. Definitely going to do parking, not extreme cross country, but probably no more than 2 blocks, just based on some videos that I've watched. Definitely doing parking. The other thing I like about doing 2/1 tent is that I can do the loop method. If anyone out there who watches our videos, if you've done a Haid or you're working on one, or if it's something that you want to do but you've gotten a lot of information, just gearing up for it, please comment in the box below. Share your best practices, like floss storage, working on the diagonal, any tips that you have, or if you know of any floss tubers that have recently put out videos or have great videos, tutorials on how they do their Haid, please share the wealth, because I'll definitely want to, look at their videos and see what they have. So any practice or any additional information that I can get before I start this beast is extremely invaluable to me. So, but I'm very excited. She's awesome. I love her. When I first saw her, I said, I just have to have her. She's perfect. She's amazing. Looking at your why do you do a Haid? Because you're crazy? Yeah. But also to have a beautiful piece of artwork to be able to put on your wall someday. And so that's what I'm going for. So anyway, comment below. Shout out anybody that can give me some good info and good tips and tricks. Or if you yourself have done it. You can also follow me on Instagram. You can DM me on Instagram. My handle's @KLPlotner, Plotner. So, If you want to follow my hay progress more frequently than what we probably will show on Flosstube, make sure to follow me there because I'll be posting it in my stories and all that good stuff. So, all right, thanks. Back to regularly scheduled programming. Bye.